Hi, this is Tom Smith from Enemy, and we're here with Jesse and Zach from the Neighbourhood. How's it going, guys?
Doing well.
It's going good.
So we're here to talk about, you're in town to play All Points East, which is in London New Festival, but you've just released your third album. It's called The Neighbourhood. Why have you gone for the self-titled release on the third one? Because that's usually the very first thing, or the last thing a band does.
I guess
Why
that's true.
this time?
I don't know. It just kind of maybe it was easy.
We've like in the last year, we've released a few different projects, and they all kind of like form a sentence when they come together. And the neighborhood is kind of like the focus, and like the center of it all. But that's kind of.
So what were the other projects you guys were working on? Was it
First EP is called Hard. The second one was called To Imagine. Then the self-titled, The Neighborhood, and then the last one, which comes out. Well, we're putting it together. I mean, it's coming out soon, but it's just not. It'll come out before August. I'll put it that way. And that's called Ever Changing. So Hard to Imagine the Neighborhood Ever Changing.
So you're keeping yourself busy then?
Yes.
Yeah, totally. A little bit.
Is it quite hard in these times to, because obviously you have access to release music whenever you want, and you've got the internet stream and that kind of stuff. Is it hard to know how to package your music and be like, we're going to do, this is a mixtape, this is an EP, this is an album, this kind of stuff?
I don't know if it's hard. It's just kind of trying to find creative ways to release fun, projects.
And so where do we find The Neighbourhood on album 3? You've done all these other projects, but what was your headspace in going into making and writing this record?
Do better than the last one. I don't know. I feel like we like to write pop music, so trying to write the best pop songs we can, and just agree with each other and have fun as much as possible.
And like sonically, it's a little different from our previous albums. I'd say like our previous stuff is more, maybe like a little more bandy, and this one was more pop,
a little
electronic,
more organic.
like orientated.
Was that something you really wanted to do at some point in your career, make like a proper pop record? Because it is like.
I mean, that was always kind of the goal, for me at least. I mean, I don't know. I think we kind of, when you're in a band with people and you're all trying to make things work for everybody.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do where there's not like a person who is completely like ruling. Yeah, exactly. Like we all share everything. So like, I got to be able to represent them with what I'm saying, but they got to be able to make music that entices me to want to write something. And I think this album too, this newest album was like coming off of our second album, obviously, and I think that one was like a shit show for us, like emotionally and shit. Like it was so stereotypical band, fucking second album shit. So this one was also, I think, really trying to just like work with each other and like, okay, so how are we all going to be happy? And I think it was like a really good thing for us. And so much of it is like about like us, like mentally, more than it even is about sometimes the music, which isn't always a great thing, but I think we needed to make sure that we were all like on the same page in order to.
So it was enjoyable this time?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
What happened in the last one? Was it just in a band kind of?
Just differences, creative differences, and like I think everybody, it was coming off of the first record. We had done a lot of touring and had, success in certain ways that were pretty fast, and just a lot going on, and all of us, all of our lives changed. So, and then, you get put in this position where it's like, okay, now what are you gonna do next? So I think for all of us, we were like, it was a little more, the pressure has gotten almost less and less, and I feel like after this record especially, like we're still writing stuff all the time, and like already it feels like even more exciting than the last one, and like smoother and better, whatever.
And so in the past you also released a mixtape. You had guest features from like G-Eazy and French Montana. Did you enjoy kind of subverting what people maybe thought of the Neighbourhood by getting all these rappers and hip-hop artists onto your music?
Yeah, that project especially was like my baby, so like that was like really, really fun. It took a second, but it was worth it. And like looking back at it too, I think, just the fact that it's in our catalog, in our discography, is like a really
Yeah, it's cool.
good moment.
It's cool to look back and be like, we did that.
Yeah, totally. Especially where the artists even got from then, because I feel like that's always been something that we've kind of been good at, is being able to like choose who to be around and like what kind of artists to be able to collaborate with or take on tour or whatever, you know. So like that one really ended up like working out, I think, in our favor. Like as time went on, to look back at it and be like, oh whoa, this all was there, you know, even if people didn't really know it at the time or whatever. Like
because you do look back and be like, wow, they blew up. People you tour with, they blew up. Like
yeah, totally.
And if you were to do something similar now, who would be kind of the artists and the rappers or the?
Well, we're doing that right now. Our third EP is a collaborative, kind of more on the tip of the mixtape.
Okay.
Like not exactly like it. It's us now being collaborative, but there's we have some cool features on there, and I think there's still some that we're like
still trying to lock down.
Yeah, there's some songs that just have like some open parts that we're like trying to figure out, you know, who would sound the sickest on it, and yeah,
you're in a good position because you've already done it and be like, hey, look what we can do for you.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like, that's what kind of ends up happening, even though a lot of people don't even know still, and then like telling them and they're like, oh, okay, but
and it's also cool because
it's just nice to make music with other people.
Gets a different audience type of, you know, attention.
Yeah.
You know, so brings people who would normally listen to us, you know, looking at us.
And so, of course, you're here for All Point Ceased. What is your usual kind of crowd in London? Are they wilder than anywhere? Are they pretty cool? They play it cool? Or is it somewhere in the middle?
I mean, yeah, they've been great, pretty much. I mean, at least
when we do on the wild side.
Yeah, at least when we do our own shows. Like last time we did the Roundhouse.
Yeah, it was sick.
And that was, to this day, still one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, that was a really fun time.
That was really fun.
And can we expect you back sometime soon after?
I mean, I'm sure we'll be back. I don't know if there's anything planned right now. I think this was kind of, for this year, our like London trip. And we've done Europe and London many times. So I group those together because usually when we come overseas, it's just like we kind of hit all of it. So this time, I know, we're just here to do this festival and then a couple in Germany in the next couple days. But I don't know if we're going to be back this year. But we will, of course. It's one of the best cities in the world, so like we love being here. I would love to spend more time here in general. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Cool, well, have fun. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sweet, thanks,
check out the new album. Check them out, All Point Ceased, whenever they come back.